So a lot of people in the last video were commenting and saying that you weren't being honest about why you did not make the NBA. Could you give us the truth on why you didn't make the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is this, okay?
Let's show you love for my man from the NBA, Dale Armstrong. This is the professor. Oh, professor. Oh, the professor.
So a lot of people in the last video were commenting and saying that you weren't being honest about why you did not make the NBA. And just give us some clarity on that, or could you give us the truth on why you didn't make the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is this, okay? The truth is, when I came into the game professionally, I was 18 years old. I signed away my college eligibility, okay? Played college for 1 year. I played 3 minutes a game, so I walked on to a community college, the lowest level of college basketball. I got cut from 3 community colleges before that, so I got a spot as a redshirt. Then a couple players got injured. I ended up playing that season, and like I said, 3 minutes a game, okay? I improved about 300% after my freshman year in college, and I go and try out on this reality show for the biggest thing in basketball. Is like the N1 mixtape tour at the time. I won this reality series. I got so much better, and I ended up signing a contract to play professionally at 18 years old because nothing was going for me in conventional basketball at the time. So that's how my career started. So I'm playing with guys on my team who are better than me, and I've just learned how to even hang on their level. And, you know, at a certain point, I did get a lot better, and I was able to hang with Division I and NBA players, at least in a street ball setting or a workout setting. I don't know what age that became a reality, but it was a thing. You know what I mean? And I said, hey, let's try and make the NBA. Let's give it another run. So I played in the IBL, semi-professional, for a year. Averaged like 18-7, 18-5, something like that. And then I worked my way all the way up into the CBA, which was the equivalent of today's G League, one step below the NBA. And it was really hard for me to earn the favor of coaches and stuff at that rate, at that time, because, as I said, I was honest in my other videos, perfectly honest. Street ball was looked at as a bad thing. Like today, the flash and everything, it's like a mainstay in the NBA, you know what I mean? Like the street ball impact had a big impact. And so now it's looked at as a good thing. Like I said, I got friends who are assistant coaches in the NBA. They respect my game. I've got tons of players who are like, I watched you growing up. I like your game. Players want me to work them out in the NBA or show me this move. So it's a different level of respect today. It's totally different. So I was being completely honest, but I think what they're not understanding is I'm coming from an extreme underdog position, and when the appeal of watching me play is that I can even hang at that level. Like that's the wow. It's not like you're supposed to dominate, and I think a lot of people want me to just say I wasn't good enough to make the NBA. And I think, yeah, I mean, 18 to 25, it would have came with its challenges, like for sure. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? But I would say I play at a way higher level than these people think, and that's why I'm still here, because I'm always surprising people. You know what I mean? So it's all good that they hold, you know, these opinions and don't think it was true, or like they want me to just say like I never was good enough, I'm not good enough, and I suck, and I'm a trash, and I wouldn't measure up at that level. That's what they want. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I don't agree with that narrative. I think I play at a much higher level than people would think. Not saying we put in work in the NBA that would come with its challenges, obviously, but that's where I stand. I would also say this. For all these people on these comments, like they should know that I'm like so thankful that I even have a fan following today, and I get to like play ball for a living and like make content and do this. Like I have no regrets about how things went. I'm not trying to make the NBA. I don't think that I like would dominate up there. I don't have none of those opinions. I'm just happy that we have a following today. I feel blessed for the way that things went. And, you know, the whole social influencer thing is incredible. Like, you have the opportunity to make 7 figures in this social, you know, influencer realm. It's still kind of new, so people don't really know that. So even if you want to check finances, people think I missed out financially. Like, no, we're blessed. Things have been amazing. You know what I mean? So I'm just thankful, you know what I mean, to have impact and do this for a living, you know?
Daniel Rafferty, and he says, the reason you didn't make the NBA is because he'd get called for traveling and carrying the ball every 3 seconds. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I see I see quite a few people say that. I think this is coming from somebody who really doesn't know the game of basketball like that, because my view of that whole thing, that whole narrative that I just carry the ball every play, is I actually would say I don't really carry the ball hardly at all. That I have a handful of moves that are arguable carries, and that when I play, if I do them, it's by choice because I'm trying to make as entertaining a video as possible. So if I do a move that's an arguable carry, which is very few of the ones I do, it's a conscious choice. So there's that whole thing. And then also it's like, does that person think that, like, if I actually played for the Lakers, I would be coming down the court, like, spamming moves the whole time? Like, no, it's a choice. Like, he also doesn't know how I started. You know, I came on the pro scene in street ball as actually more so of a fundamental player. When I first came on the scene, people were like, yo, he's not quite as saucy with the tricks, but I love his fundamentals. That's like that's my history. That's how I came on the scene at 18 years old. So I just took a call last week, as a matter of fact, with an NBA trainer. He trains NBA All-Stars. He wanted me to come onto his platform and demo some of my moves. And the reason he called me is because he said that he loved that my moves were actually game legal. So I would say that whole narrative is from people who don't really know the game of basketball.
The next comment from a fan from John Filey, he said he would be lucky to ever play semi-pro.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's the thing with social media nowadays, right? It's like you watch a couple videos and then you make your whole assessment on that person or on their game or whatever, right? So obviously he doesn't know my story. Like I played semi-professional basketball, which I don't even consider to be a big resume point, to be honest. Like I played in the IBL and I averaged, I believe, 18-7, 18-5 or something like that. And then I played in the CBA, which used to be the G League. It was the league right under the NBA. So I've played semi-professional basketball. Like, so the fact that he would think I couldn't even cut it at that rate, dude just don't know about me very well. You know what I mean?
Or the level of basketball.
Yeah, he's underestimating my level of basketball, but that's cool. But, you know, that's the thing. Everybody has a right to their own opinion on these things. So I have no problem with these people thinking these things. I'm used to reading like hate comments or really confused viewpoints, like misinformed viewpoints. It's all good, you know what I mean? Because it is what it is.
Eric Henderson said he didn't play in the NBA, first of all, because he would get called for all the violations, traveling, carrying, palming the ball. He'd get thrown into the rafters time in and time out because he has no lift. He's too slow. He's too weak. It's as simple as that. That's what Eric Henderson said.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of parallel what the other dude said, but I think there is a narrative, you know, in the comments that I'm just like this super trash hooper that couldn't measure up at the highest level. And it's fair, everybody has their own opinion. Like, I'm cool with them thinking that. But I mean, the truth is this, you know, I worked out with NBA players. I went back and forth with NBA players. I have prominent highlights online right now shaking up NBA players and scoring. You know what I mean? There's actually an NBA star right now who I played in a workout with. I came down the court, shook him up with one of my signature moves. He was 10 feet behind me and I laid the ball up. I've had NBA players in a workout not even want to guard me and be like, you guard him. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? Because in those workouts, it's not for content. You know what I mean? People don't want, you know, those guys aren't trying to be on camera like that. So what I would say is, what does that mean? That doesn't mean like I go kill the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that. But I think what it does mean is that I play at a much higher level than a lot of these people would think, and that I wouldn't just be some trash hooper that couldn't measure up to, like, I think it just means that, like, you know, I might go back and forth and hang a lot closer than these people might think at the highest level. That's all that means, in my opinion. A lot of people are misinformed on my level of play, but it's all good because it makes for great videos. You know what I mean? Like, we go there, they don't believe it's good. It's a great trash talk on the video, and it's the outcome. Here we go, another video on Professor Live. You know what I mean?
Chris Benatti, he said, how about the Harlem Globetrotters? I'm assuming he's just saying, why don't you try that instead?
I saw a few of those comments. People are like, this guy's not cut out for the NBA. He's cut out for the Globetrotters. It's like, okay, that's layered. Number one, I've been offered by the Globetrotters 3 or 4 times in my career, and I passed every time. Number two, the reason I passed is because it's scripted basketball. The Globetrotters don't even play real basketball. So how am I'm so good I need to go sign with the Globetrotters? Like, I pass on it. It's not real. It's a scripted game, you know what I mean? So I think that's an uninformed viewpoint also, like, because the players on the Globetrotters are good. Don't get me wrong. I got friends, I got guys I play with that are on the Globetrotters that are good players, but I just never wanted to do that. I love what I do on Professor Live, and I make, you know, if you want to talk money, we make way more money. If you want to talk impact, we have way more impact with YouTube. You know, Globetrotters is a full-time grind playing scripted basketball. So I never had any ambition to do it, you know what I mean? Maybe later in my career or something, you know? It's an iconic organization. Like, I got a lot of respect for it. This just wasn't for me.
Would you ever play with them for one game?
For one game? Yeah, I think I would. Absolutely. I think that'd be a cool resume point. It'd be dope to have the jersey and all that, for sure.
Last comment, Gustavo Perez. He said, my only question is, who f***ed up your hair? Straight to it. Damn.